Okay. Okay, can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so statics, it usually means at rest or in equilibrium. Fine, rest or equilibrium. That's when you say the object is at rest, or even if it is moving with constant velocity, even if it's moving with constant velocity, that also comes under statics. Fine. So neither the magnitude nor the direction, both should not be varying. Only then we can consider it as a problem of statics. So under statics, both these things, center of mass and center of gravity, both these overlap. But when it enters, when the velocity is changing, that's when the center of mass may change. Center of mass may change. Okay. So let's go ahead and see first the 2D centroid, fine, or also called as the center of area. Center of area. Okay, so I'll just go ahead with the formulae. Of course, you can get some derivations also in this, but let me just cover the formulae directly first. Later on, I'll prepare the a video for each of the derivations, okay, as the time permits me. So first thing, first centroid we have to know about is of symmetric figures. Okay. So if any diagram is symmetric, if any diagram is symmetric, fine. So this is the line of symmetry. मेरे को क्लास है तुम बताओ मैं आता हूँ. So this is the line of symmetry here. So the first rule of centroid is if there is a line of symmetry, then the center of gravity will be on that line of symmetry. Center of gravity, if you it will be always there on the line of symmetry, fine. Or in 3D, हेलो मम्मी के फोन पे करो डैड. Okay, so if there is a line of symmetry, center of gravity will always lie on that, fine. So if we have two lines of symmetry, if we have two lines of symmetry, then definitely the center of gravity will be at the intersection of them, fine, at the intersection of them. So that's what happens with the rectangle or a triangle which is symmetric about one line, then center of gravity will be on that. If we are able to draw another line of symmetry, then of course it will be at the intersection of both these lines, fine. So this is one criteria of finding the centroid. If there is a line of symmetry, then it will be definitely on the line of symmetry. Next, let us talk about a situation wherein, let us say we are having a triangle here like this. Okay. And for this triangle, we want to find the centroid. Now you can see this is not symmetric. This diagram here that we have, it is not symmetric. So what we have to do is we'll have to find the center of gravity. Let us say it's here over here. Now this distance here, this is called as y bar. This is y bar. Let us say this total height is h. Fine. So what is this y bar? What is the formula for y bar? Do you know it? Anyone?
H/3.
So y bar is given as h by 3. Fine. So in a triangle, this is the formula we have to use. X bar, uh, x bar becomes complicated because it is not symmetric. If it is symmetric, of course, the x bar can be taken as 0 if the y-axis becomes the symmetric axis. In other cases, we will have to find it differently. Fine. And okay, and in situations wherein we have a right angled triangle, if we have a right angled triangle, Then the center of gravity will be here. So this, let us say it is B, this is H. Then this distance will be B by 3, and this distance here will be H by 3. Fine. So most of the cases we will be getting this right angle triangles itself. Fine. And this is how we have to use them. Next, coming to the semicircle. Next, we have to come to the semicircle. Okay. So semicircle has one line of symmetry, isn't it? There's one line of symmetry. Okay. So centroid will be on this line. Centroid will be definitely on this line. But the second symmetry is not present here. Second symmetry is not present here. Fine. So for the second distance, we will have to find it. Fine. So this here, let us say it is y bar. So now if the radius is r, if the radius is r, if the radius is r, then what is the y bar? The y bar here is given as, tell me, 4r by 3 pi. Fine. 4r by 3 pi. What is the value of pi here? What is the value of pi here?
3.14.
3.14. Fine. So this is the value of y bar. And if y-axis is located at the angle of symmetry, then x bar can be taken as 0. X bar can be taken as 0. Fine. So next, let's talk about this quadricircle. Next, let us talk about the quadricircle. Fine. So this here, okay, it's a quadricircle, and we have the center of gravity over here somewhere. Once again, we will take the radius as r. The radius of the quadricircle, we will take it as r. Now tell me, what is the formula for y bar?
4r by 3 pi.
Y bar will be same as the semicircle. Fine. And what about x bar?
Same, sir.
X bar will also be same, 4r by 3 pi. Fine. So these are the formulae which we should remember. These are the formulae which we should remember. Fine. Now let's take up a problem from one of your question papers. Okay, it's over here. Let's see here.
The
Yes, ma'am.
for equilateral triangle, where is the center?
Equilateral.
Triangle.
We can apply that same formula which we learned here, right? In equilateral triangle. Okay, let me explain to you. If we have an equilateral triangle, in the equilateral triangle, all the lengths are equal, right? All the lengths are equal. So if this is, let us say A, this will also be A, this will also be A. Fine. Now let us say this is the center of gravity. Let's say that's the center of gravity. Then this distance will be h by 3. So here we'll have to first find out what is h. Fine. So what is h in the center of gravity in the equilateral triangle? What is the value of h? What is the value of h in equilateral triangle? Anyone?
Sine 60 by A.
Yes. मम्मीच्या फोनला करा, मम्मीच्या फोनला करा.
Sir, root 2a.
Root 12. You see,
Root
this
2a,
is,
sir.
yeah, let me explain. This is a by root 2, right? And this angle here will be 30. Now opposite by hypotenuse, that is sine. So sine 30 equals, sorry, we need adjacent here. We need adjacent here. So we'll have to take cos 30. Cos 30, that is adjacent. Adjacent is h by hypotenuse, that is a. Fine. So h will be equal to cos. What is cos 30? Cos 30 is root 3 by 2 into a. So this is the value of height. Okay, this is the value of height. So now this height we have to find first using the length of edge, and then we can do h by 3 to get it.
Sir, screen is not visible.
Not visible, sir. Screen is.
Is it clear? Any doubts?
Screen is not visible, sir.
Screen is not visible again. Let me share it again. So, great. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So any doubts here? So in equilateral triangle, all the sides are of same length, that is A. And first we have to find height using the given side. Fine. So height using the trigonometric, we can say cos 30. Cos 30 is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. So adjacent here is the height of the triangle. Hypotenuse is A for this smaller triangle. Okay, for this smaller triangle. This is the triangle we have to consider. Cos 30 equal to h by A, and h will be equal to A into cos 30. So we all know cos 30 is taken as root 3 by 2. Fine. So using this formula here, we will first have to find the height. Once we know the height, then h by 3 is the distance of centroid. It's very easy to understand. Okay. So once take a look at all these formulae, we will take a problem next. I'll do one thing. I'll just share the screenshot of this on your WhatsApp group. Okay, so take a look at those formulae. Meanwhile, I'll say the previous year question paper, and from that, let us take a problem. Okay. So everyone go to your WhatsApp and revise all the formulae that we have seen over there. Okay. Right. Take the snip. बैठो बैठो अंदर बैठो बैठो मैं आ रहा. Okay, so shall we go for the problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So here you can see the problem. Have you started with the recording? Is it getting recorded?
Recording.
Yes.
Yes, sir, it's recording.
It's recording. Okay. Fine. So you can see here some diagram is given with hatched area. Fine. So we have been told to find the centroid of this shaded area. Now you can see the diagram is not very clear. That's something I feel very ashamed of. Even though Osmania University is such a big university, it just can't make good diagrams for the exam papers. So we have to understand this properly. Okay. So this arrow here is given to us. So which means this arrow is given to us, which means this is actually a radius. And because this is given as a radius, we should understand that this here is a part of circle or arc. Fine. So once again, here they have mentioned 3 centimeters, and there is a dimension given here. So once again, we have to understand that this is another arc. Okay. So is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the diagram itself will be Okay, where did it go? That's, let us start from here, and then we'll need another circle. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this here is our diagram. Okay, okay, so this is our diagram. Now we should be able to identify how many times these problems, how many times these figures are getting repeated here in our diagram. Fine. So that's our first step. That is our first step. So we should be able to divide. We should be able to identify how many of our standard parts are repeating in this one. So let me proceed by explaining you what are they. So the first thing we can identify here is the square here. Fine. So this here is the square. Give me a minute. Mummy. Hello. So here we have this square, and next this diagram here you can see this is a quarter circle. So let me call it as 2, and then the last one. Take a different color for this. Okay. So the next one here is a quarter circle in this shape. This is to be cut away. Okay. So so this square has to be added. The square has to be added. What about this? This is also added. And then this one, the quarter circle located here, this has to be subtracted from our diagram. This has to be subtracted from our diagram. So once again, one more thing is that the axis has also been given to us. So here we have the x-axis, and here we have the y-axis. Okay. So now these kind of problems can be solved very easily using the table method again. Fine. So let me draw that. So it starts with area first. Fine. So area diagram we have to draw first. Sorry. Okay. So instead of area, let me just put the diagram over there. We have to first draw the diagram of individual components. Diagram, and then for each diagram we have to take area. Then we have to take x bar and y bar. Fine. Now x bar and y bar are the distances of centroid from the axis. So if the axes are given to us directly, we will have to continue with the same axis. But if the axes are not given, we will have to assume it somewhere. Fine. We will have to assume it somewhere. Fine. So let me make this into a table, a table. Now let's go ahead and take up the diagrams one by one. Okay. So first I will take up this green square. First, let me take up the green square. Okay. Okay. So this is the green square, and what are the sides of this green square? What are the sides of the green square?
3 by 3.
Oh, 3 by 3. Yes, because the radius is 3. both the sides will be 3. So 3 and 3. Now centroid will be located here. Centroid will be located here. Fine. So this distance here, we'll have to take it as x bar, and this distance here will be taken as y bar. Okay. So now, can you tell me what is x bar? What is x bar?
3 by
No,
2.
X bar is half of 3, half of the length, because we know that it is having this symmetric line in the middle, right? So whenever there is symmetric line, I told you it will be on the symmetric line. So that symmetry line lies at half of the 3 distance. Fine. So 3 by 2 is the x bar distance, and same goes for y bar, isn't it? Any mistake here?
No,
Any
sir.
mistake here? Are you sure? Now, whenever I say are you sure? You should understand that you are making mistake. I'm asking you to find the mistake. So try to
Sign, sir.
figure it. Yes, the sign. Fine. So you can see x bar is going on the left side of y axis. So x bar has to be negative. X bar has to be negative. Fine. So this is a very important thing you should understand. Okay. Then let us put the area. What is the area? Area of square is 3 into 3. Area of square is 3 into 3. Now, because I have taken here positive for 1, I have taken positive. So that positive should come here. That positive should come here. Okay. Next, let's take this second diagram here. So I'll just directly take this and put it over there. Right. Okay. Okay, so this is our next diagram. Okay. Now the x and y axis, where are they located? The x axis is located here. Y axis is located here. X and y axis. Fine. And then the centroid over here. So once again, this distance and this distance is what we want. This is x bar, this is y bar. So let us start with the area again. What is the area? What is the area? Tell me, what is the area? Area of circle.
Pi
What
r
is the
square
area?
by 4.
Yeah, area of circle, complete circle is pi r square. Area of the complete circle is pi r square. And because this is quarter circle, we have to divide it by 4. So for the semicircle, we have to take half of the circle. For the quarter circle, we have to take 1/4 of it. Okay. So this is the formula. Now just put it in the calculator and tell me what is the value. So 7.07. 7.07. So this is the area. Next, what is formula for x bar? What is the formula for x bar?
4r by 3 pi.
4r by 3 pi. Now again, put that in this formula. Put that in the formula. Put that in the formula. Tell me. So 4 times 3 divided by 3 divided by pi. So 1.27. 1.27. Now is it positive, negative? Is it positive, negative? Tell me, is it positive or negative?
Both are
Both are
positive, sir.
positive. Both are positive.
Yes, sir.
Both are positive. Yes. Now, because x-axis is in the forward direction itself and y-axis in the upper direction, that's why both are positive. Next, we'll have to take this other, this one. Okay, so let me put it this way. But this is now like this, isn't it? It's actually revolved in this direction. Okay. This is our next diagram, isn't it? This is the third one. This is third one. So forget about this. Now, where are the axes? Understanding the axis is very important here. Fine. So this is where we have the x-axis. This is where we have the x-axis, and this is where we have the y-axis. Okay. So the centroid will be located at the center. Centroid will be located at the center, and this is where the difference comes compared to all other diagrams. Fine. This is the most twisted of the diagrams. So distance from x-axis, we have to take it as y bar. Distance from y-axis, we have to take it as x bar. Are you getting this? So have you understood? Any doubt here? Understand this very, very properly. Fine. If you make a mistake here, then it's not possible to get the correct answer. It's not possible to get the correct answer. Fine. Ready? Any doubts here? Okay. Now, once again, the area. What is the formula for area? Once again, because it is a quarter circle, the area will be pi r square by 4. But now, here, this part is being cut out. This part here is being cut out. Fine. And hence, we have to take this as negative. In the other two cases, because we were adding that area, we have to take it as positive. But from this added area, we are cutting out this particular part, this particular shape, we are cutting out from the remaining part. And hence, here we have to take it as negative. So here the area will be minus 7.07, minus 7.07. Fine. So area is going to be negative over here. And once again, the formula for x bar and y bar will also not be that simple. They will also not be that simple. So this total distance here is equal to radius, and that's going to be 3. Fine. But for us, we know the formula for this part. We know the formula for this part. Fine. But we have to find the other part. So what we have to do here is 3 minus 4r by 3 pi. 3 minus 4r by 3 pi. That's what we have to do. Right. So now calculate and tell me what is this? 3 minus 4r by 3 pi. 3 minus 4 times 3 by 4 by pi. So how much are we getting? Uh,
1.72.
1.72. Why did I get wrong here? 4. I did 3 by 4. Right? 4r by. Okay. So I made a small mistake here. 1.73. When you round off, the last digit that you are ignoring, if it is greater than 5, then you have to make an increment. Okay. Now, is this positive or negative again? Is this positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative, because x bar is going on the back side. Fine. That's why I told this part is the most complex. This part is the most complex. Fine. So this is again negative. The area is also negative. The x bar is also negative. Now, what about y bar? What about y bar? Y bar, once again, it's given here. We know the formula for the upper side, but we have been asked to find the lower side. So once again, it will be 3 minus 4r by 3 pi. 3 minus 4r by 3 pi. So the value is going to be the same. But what about the sign? Is it positive or negative?
Positive.
Is it positive? It is positive. Yeah, it is positive because it is on the upper side, above x-axis, and hence this has to be positive. Okay. So now all these things we have to use carefully, and we have to find the value of x bar. What is the formula for x bar? What is the formula for x bar for a composite figure?
Summation of area moment by total area.
Yes, summation of area moment by summation of area. Now it depends how many areas you have, that many times you have to expand it. Fine. So it will be A1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3. Okay, so this is the expansion of summation, and below we have a1 plus a2 plus a3. Okay, so this is our expansion. Now all these values, a1 is here, a2 is here, a3 is here. Okay, so a1, a2 and a3 we have got it. x1 is here, x2 and x3, and same way y1, y2 and y3. Okay, so we have got all the values that are there in this formula. So substitute and find out. Tell me the answer. Substitute, find out, tell me the answer. Now positive and negative, you have to take it very carefully. Positive and negative, take it very carefully. Substitute the same signs that we got here in this table. Okay, so a1 is positive, that is 3 into 3. Then we have to multiply that to x1. Now x1 here is negative, so 3 by 2 negative we have to take. Fine. Then the result of this we will have to add to a2 x2. So plus a2 is 7.07. a2 is 7.07. Multiply that with x2. x2 is 1.27. Okay, now both are positive here, so both we have to enter that way. And the result of that, we have to again add to a3 x3. Now a3 is negative. a3 is negative. Fine. So 7.07 negative I have to take. Negative I have to take, and we have to multiply this with 1.73. 1.73. Once again, this is also negative. Fine. So minus into minus actually becomes plus over there. Minus into minus actually becomes plus over there. Fine. So when we add all of them, this is the result we are getting. So the result of the numerator is 7.71. Result is 7.07. 7.71. Anyone else is getting the same result? Please confirm. Same you are getting or different? Please confirm, are you getting the same? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So numerator we got 7.71. Now the denominator we'll have to add all the areas. Fine. So add the areas, 3 into 3 plus 7.07 minus 7.07. So we're getting this as 9. So this plus and minus, they will cancel each other out, and we're just left with 9. Now the ratio of these two, if you take, you will get the value of x bar. Fine. So what is x bar? 7.71 divided by 9. That's 0.86. 0.86. Fine. So this is the value of x bar. This is the value of x bar. Fine. Same way, you have to find y bar. Y bar, what will be the formula? Summation ay by summation a. Once again, you have to expand it. That is a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3. Fine. And divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Okay. So again, substitute it and find it. Tell me the result. Everyone do it. A1 is 3 into 3. 3 into 3 into y1 is 3 by 2. That's 1.5. Both are positive. Plus a2. A2 is 7.07 into y2. Y2 is 1.27. Both are positive again. Plus a3. A3 is negative. So I have to be careful. A3 is negative. So So negative into y3. Y3 is positive 1.73. Okay, so that gives me 10.25. Please confirm everyone getting the same result. Confirm if everyone is getting the same result.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So, and denominator, of course, denominator will be same as before. That will be 9. So calculate what will be y bar.
1.386, sir.
1.386. Now 6 is greater than 5. So we have to round it off to 1.39. 1.39. Okay. So this is our problem. So any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay. So understand the steps. Understanding the steps is very, very important. What is the first step? First step, identify standard diagrams. Identify standard diagrams. Fine. So what are standard diagrams? Standard diagrams are those diagrams for which we know the formula of centroid. So you should try to identify rectangles, squares, triangles, semicircles, circles, or quarter circles, or like this. Fine. So whatever diagram for which we know the formula, so those diagrams we have to identify in the composite diagram that is given in the question. Fine. Then the second step is to take axis. Both x and y axis we have to take. If the axes are already given in the diagram, we have to use the same axis. If the axes are given in the diagram, we have to take the same axis. If the axes are not given, you are free to choose wherever you want. Fine. So most generally, you have to take it at the bottommost. If it is not given, take it at the bottommost as x-axis. Bottommost line, take it as x-axis. And the leftmost line, you take it as y-axis. That is the best option for you. Okay. So in our diagram here, in our problem here, we were given the axis, so we continued with the same axis. If the axes are not given, you have to choose it. Okay. So then the third step is to prepare the table. And finally, you will have to use the expansion to find the final x bar and y bar. So these are the steps you must take to solve any problem on centroid. Is it clear? Any doubts here? So I think the time for our class is over.
Share the screenshot on group, sir, so we can
Yeah, sure.
later.
I'm sharing it right now. So it seems the time for our class is over. What is the next class?
Max, sir.
Basic
Electronics.
electronics.
Yeah. Okay. So you can leave and join that class. Thank you. I'll be making some more videos on problems related to this, and I'll share it in the group. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.